Hello, and today I'd like to talk about BFA Alchemy. Now, I did a series of this before Classic came out where I was going through and leveling up my alchemy and going through the whole Silas Proc process, and I kind of finished it just before Classic came out, but I didn't get around to releasing a video over where I've got to with it. So I wanted to wrap up that series because now that it's all set up, it's making some really nice money for me, and I just log on every now and again, see if I can get the prog, and then go through and relist and put my potions on. So here we are in the world, and looking at my alchemy now. Looking at all the rank 3s I've now got for all the abyssal healing potions, all of the superior potions, all the way up here I've got all the rank 3s for all of these, which is really useful. And then moving down to the utility potions, we've got all of these at rank 3, and the flasks we've also got at rank 3. So these are the things you need to have at rank 3 to get the Silas Proc. If it's not rank 3, then you can't get it. So most of these will lead you through, it's either a reputation grind, or world quests, or going into Operation Mecha Gan. Last one, Operation Mecha Gan, was actually laughably easy. I thought I'd have to go into a group, but you can actually solo it. So on the right hand side here, I've got the Silas Sphere of Transmutation, and every hour you can set that off, and there's a chance of getting the Silas Potion of Prosperity, and if you get that, then you get the potion. It gives you a 10-minute buff, which you can make use of to make your potions at an increased rate. The rate is 1.7 potions on average, obviously depending on your luck with that one. Then it's got a 20-minute cooldown, so you have to wait 10 minutes, and then you get another 10-minute window, and then you've got to wait another 10 minutes, and then you've got a third 10-minute window before the potion turns back into the Sphere of Transmutation. So what I've been doing, as I showed in the previous videos, is to go through TSM and set up my groups. I've got a Silas rank 3 here, which has got all the potions in there at the moment. I'm going to further split these up into give me different crafting operations in a moment. Now I've got a shopping operation here just so that I can check the prices of potions. The main crafting one here is the Silas Proc times 20, and I've got a test here where I've just been posting them on at 10 at a time, which actually has been working out really well for me, so it's kind of no longer a test for me at this stage. So looking at these, we've got a really nice profit margin on these because I've been buying all the herbs at a reasonable price as soon as I can, and I've also set TSM to go into here and under my operations for the crafting. If we go onto here, crafting, Silas Proc times 20, we've overridden the default craft value method and included the proc rate here, so 1.7. This is the default first DB min buyout and DB market, so I've just added the 1.7 times in there. So the craft value method here is taking into account that proc rate. So I'm timesing the value you're getting on the market by 1.7. So when you think of your crafts here, you're not actually getting a price per potion. This is actually the price per craft, which will be 1.7 potions. So you've got to think about that in your crafting restock quantity here. You're not going to make 20 potions, you're actually going to make 1.7 times 20 potions. So it's a kind of change in your thinking about what you're making and how you're making it. If I right click on these, you can see the actual crafting cost here is 177. The item value itself is based on the 1.7 times of that, and you can see it's much higher, which gives me a profit margin on each of these of a reasonable value for each of these rank 3s. Some of them not quite so much, and the same with the flasks here, depending on your market values. Obviously your server prices will vary. The other things I've done is make sure my materials for things like anchor weed includes the average buy here, because I'm mainly buying everything from the auction house. I'm not including the daily cooldown you get for anchor weed because I'm considering that as kind of like a bonus extra. So because I can't get enough of them that way, I'm not including it here, and I'm just going to try and buy it as cheaply as possible. The same with all my other herbs at the moment. The other thing I've done, if we go into settings here, I have set up a custom source, and I've called it Silas Potion Value. And this custom price source is crafting divided by 1.7. So this you can add in quite easily. You just add new custom price source, you type in the name of it here, and then you put in the factor that's going to affect it. In this case it's crafting divided by 1.7. I'll just delete this one. And then what I've also done is gone into the tooltip settings, under value sources, and under custom sources I've added in the Silas Potion value. So this gives me in my tooltip let's take Abyssal Healing Potion as an example. My custom price source Silas Potion value is 22 gold. If you look down at the crafting cost tells me it's 38 gold. So that's 38 gold per craft, but that doesn't give me a price per potion. So looking at this, I can see that my custom price source Silas Potion value up near the top of the tooltip there, 22 gold 81. So at a quick glance I can see actually that's going to be my calculated crafting cost per potion. So when I'm listing things on, because we're obviously using, where's my group operation, hold on. So we go into my auctioning one, we're using this one at the moment, so under my posting operation here, we're using 110% crafting and dividing it by 1.7, so we're taking that value into account. So looking at that tooltip, we can see the actual price per potion. So alchemy is a bit of a strange one on that respect, but as long as you only make potions using the Silas Proc, which is going to be the most maximum efficient way of doing it and making your prices most competitive, then this is going to be the actual accurate prices, but you have to kind of think of it as in batches as opposed to single potion crafting. So this posting operation is fairly simple. 5 times 10, allow partial stack, yes. Minimum price is 110% crafting divided by 1.7. Now I'm keeping all these values as a percentage of my crafting value. That way I can make sure that my normal price is never lower than my minimum price. So I'm doing a percentage of 300% crafting for my normal price and 600% crafting for my maximum price. I've also added in here set minimum price when below minimum, post at minimum price anyway. So I want to get them in the market, I want to get them circulating, which is why I'm keeping them in there. Because there'll be a case where even though there may be some potions cheaper than yours, people will come along and buy yours eventually, or find them to be in a convenient stack size and then buy them because they're in a nice neat stack of 10. We could try this at 20 or 5 as well. As we can see here with my original ones, I had different operations for 5, 10, 20. We could use these, but at the moment I've just been posting them in 10s. I've not been too concerned with this because with 8.3 coming out, the whole auction house changes and pretty stacks is all going to be going away, so for now I'm not too concerned. 10s seems to be working for me so far. So that's my posting operation, and then my crafting operation, I've currently just got the one, Silas Proc times 20, but I'm looking at changing this because some of my potions I want to have more of, because I can't rely on the proc that often and I'm not online often enough to see if I can get the proc frequently enough. I want to make sure that I've got enough stock to see me through to the next time that the proc happens. So I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to add another one in here and make a duplicate of this, and I'm going to change this to Silas Proc times 40. So these are quite large stock numbers. You have to have a good amount of Anchorweed and Zenithid stocked up to be able to do this. So make sure you're always buying things at the cheapest price possible. If you look at the auction house frequently and just scoop up all the cheaper ones on a regular basis, then you'll soon get a nice decent stock of all of those, particularly Zenithid and Anchorweed. We're talking in the several thousands here preferably. So I'm going to change this amount, so I'm going to make 40, not 40 potions, but I'm going to craft 40 times. So that actually means I'm going to make 40 times 1.7 potions on average. So I've got this second one here, and now in my group I'm going to just adjust this one, the Silas rank 3 one, and I want to take any of the ones that have got a decent sale rate, and I'm going to pop those into this more frequent group. So I'm going to make a subgroup here, call this Good Sellers. And then I can go through and look at each of these. Now, Abyssal Healing Potion, I've got my own TSM accounting sale rate, which is 0.73, plus the region sale rate data, which is probably a bit more accurate as well, which is 0.52. So that's a definite candidate for a good stock. The same with the Dimitri's ones, 0.42, then 0.54 for Endless Fathoms, and the same with that one, 4.7. Now this one's 0.2, so I don't want to have that one in there. Vast Horizons. 3.1's probably borderline. 1.7 definitely not. 5.6 definitely want that one in there. So those are all going to go in at my good sellers. Then I noticed there was a few here that had really quite low sale rates. So I don't really want to be making 20 times 1.7 of those, but I still want to have a stock of them because you never know, they might sell. So I'm going to make another group here. Call this not so good. And then I'm going to put in anything that's got less than 0.2. I'm going to put in this category. So some of these are really low, like 0.04 and 0.03. Those ones. In fact, I'm actually going to take a couple of these out. That's 0.52. That should be in the good ones. Let's take that one off for a minute. And no, I'm looking at my my own personal sale rate there. So these ones are probably more average. So 0.17 for region, but 0.55 for my own. So actually, I'm going to keep those two in there. Let's just do the particularly lower ones here. These three. Let's add them in here. Actually, we're probably going to rename this to poor, because that is probably a more accurate description. And then that leaves me with a number which are the average ones. So what I'm going to do is just, for completeness, make 3 groups here. Obviously, your own mileage will vary on this. Then I'm going to put all of these in, so the 0.2s, 0.31s, the kind of middle of the line potions, they're going to go in there. So the average ones, I actually want to order these slightly differently now. So I want good sellers to be at the top. So I'm just going to prefix this with a 1. I'll put this a paste bin for all these in the description below. So you're welcome to take this as a basis yourself. Just make sure you've checked all the material prices are including things like average buy, because that won't normally come in when you import groups. Let's just get a space in there for completeness. There we go. Good sellers, average and poor. So good sellers has the basic one of 20, which we need to override that now and put in our operation of 40. The average one is going to take the 20, and then poor, we want to add another one in here. So let's go into our operations. In our crafting group here, we'll change this to Silas Proc times 5. And then restock quantity we'll change to 5. So there we go, so we've got a 5, a 20 and a 40. And we just update the group here to use this operation, to use override that, and a Silas Proc of 5. So that's slightly more tweaked, slightly more useful for me. I'm making sure I've got a good stock of the ones that are going to sell well, a reasonable stock of the average ones, and just a few of the poor ones just in case. So let's go look. I've got some mail at the moment. Let's just see if I've had any sales recently. This has been over the last couple of days. And so there's a pretty good example of the kind of sales I'm getting. I've sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 50 potions of Unbridled Fury, 20 Superior Battle Potions, 1 Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms, and 30 Endless Fathoms here, and then 10 of the Undertow there. So we're definitely getting some good sales here. That's 43,000 gold just from the last couple of days. So all we need to do now is we can collect all this up. Now we can't restock until we've got a Silas Proc. I'm obviously not going to rely on streamer luck here, but you never know. And we actually have a Silas Potion of Prosperity. You can see it there. It's come up here. So this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to show you. So now that I have the potion, I've not drunk it yet. I've got it here on the action bar ready to go. I just want to prepare myself first, so we need to double check, so make sure we've got enough for everything. So we'll go into our Brutus, we'll check our auctions first. So TSM can see that we've got everything on there. So it knows we've got to restock on some things. Obviously we've changed the numbers of some things, so we're going to have to restock on those even more so. In fact, whilst I'm here, we'll just do a quick shopping search. So I have the BFA herbs as a shopping operation, which is really useful. Just go through everything. Ideally, I want to buy things below my average buy price, which is what the shopping operation is showing me here. I'm trying to keep about a stock of roughly up to about 1,000 with the standard herbs, because those will be used in the daily cooldown. And then as many as I can get for things like the Zenithid and Anchorweed. So currently the prices are quite a little bit above my average buy price at the moment. I have 1200 Zenithid on me at the moment, with an average purchase price of actually 19 golds, which is really good. I got a feeling that this price though, 37, yes, it's slightly higher. You can see there the market value is more like 26, so now would be a bad time to buy that. And the anchor weed is currently sitting at 170, which is slightly high, but the market value is coming in at 193, and as I've only got 489 on me at the moment, I could possibly do with just buying a few of these just to stock up. I have 220,000 gold, so I can afford to do this for a few of them just to increase my stock levels a little bit more. And then I'll check on the price of the cheap stuff. So Winter's Kiss, I've got 780, running low on Siren's Pollen, so let's just pick up some of these. I'm going to buy that. I'll leave the 4, and then I'm going to buy all 600 there. Someone's been on a herb spree there. Look at that, 33 stacks of 200 and 50 stacks of 200. That's absolutely loads. And Star Moss, again I've only got 253, so I want a few of these. Again, we've got lots of stacks here, so I'm going to buy some of these just to give myself a little bit more. Sea Stalk, now slightly above my price here, but as we're at 420, 268, we need more Riverbud than anything else. I'm just going to buy a couple of these. That should be enough for now. So this is kind of about as much preparation as I can do for now. So I'll go buy those up. So now I'm ready to craft. Let's get myself somewhere reasonable. Go into our groups. We're not using the potion yet, we're just going to set things up. So under Silas rank 3, we don't have to select these because they'll be automatically selected when you click this. Restock selected groups. So we're going to do 40 greater flasks of Endless Fathoms because we sold loads of those. So it's not going to be 40 though, it's 40 times 1.7. A few flasks of the Currents, a few potions of Unbridled Fury. So I just want to double check with my gathering tab. Do I actually have enough here? I'm going to need some more crystal vials. I'm a bit low on those. And I'm about 328 short on the Zenithid if I want these. So let's have another quick look at the Zenithid price. Are there any we could possibly buy? It's obviously going to affect our average prices, which will affect our profit margins. So as it's 328, that's quite a lot. Let's have a quick look. See what price it comes out at. Considering our average is 19, I think we can probably afford to buy a few of them. There are a couple of stacks of 200 here. So what I'm going to do is buy, as they're the cheapest, I'm going to buy 2 stacks of 200. And that will reset my averages anyway for the moment. So pick those up. And I'm going to go over to the Alchemist rather than use my Brutosaur mount, because those will probably be cheaper. And crystal vials, let's buy ourselves 600, so we've got a good stock of those. Okay, so now we're done with the task list and we're ready to use our potion. Obviously we spent time doing this, and so we're not going to have 3 lots of 10 minutes. We're probably going to have more like 2 lots of 10 minutes, but hopefully I'll be able to craft them all in the first lot of 10 minutes. So we're all prepared, we're ready to do our crafting session. So this is everything we need. We've got all the materials we need, so we're all set. So now we need to just drink the Potion of Prosperity, and then you can see it's got a 10-minute buff up here. And so whilst I've got this, I'm going to move this up here so you can see any potential procs as they come through. And we go into our alchemy, and we can start crafting. So let's start with the Potions of Unbridled Fury. We'll watch those come through. So ×2 there, ×2. Occasionally you get some really big numbers like ×15 or 20. We've got some really good numbers here though, ×2 for a few, a ×4 for one. And then Superior Battle Potion of Strength. We've got a ×5 there from that one. And then Greater Flask of the Currents. The flasks are the ones that you really want some good procs on, because those are the more expensive ones. Right, let's try 40 of the Endless Fathoms. Hopefully we'll have enough here to get some good procs. A couple of ×2s in there, that's a good start. and a ×3, then a good run of ×2s, there's a ×4 in there, that's good, then quite a few singles, then a few more 2s and 3s it would seem, and then Greater Flask of the Undertow, let's do a few of these, coming straight in with a ×3, so a good run of those. Oh, still got some more to go. And then Dimitri's Draft of Deception, 10 of those. Sometimes you find if this gets stuck, it'll probably be because you're trying to craft out of your bank rather than either your reagent bank or from your bags. So if it does get stuck on TSM, that's one thing to watch out for. So there we go, that's everything crafted, and we've still got 8 minutes left on our Potion of Prosperity, so that's really good. But we've stocked up on what we want for this session. So now I'm just going to go and post those on the auction house and see if we can get some more sales. So you can see here, Abyssal Healing Potion is going for 84 gold at the moment. So I can look at my tooltip here under Custom Price Source Silas Potion Value. So my crafting cost, it says 53 under the TSM crafting, but my actual price per potion is 31 gold. So I'm going to be making a nice profit on those. And Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms is a 906 to actually make. They're currently going for 1,500, so that's really good. Someone's reset the market on those. And then we've got a good profit on those. And then that one's 241, but 141 per potion, going for 275. So this is all a really good profit for each of these. Now this one, Greater Flask of the Undertow, is below min price, so we're posting at minimum price. So there's going to be a few here that our custom price source here is 906, but there are some here at 860, so we may or may not get some sales there. You could potentially look at resetting the market on some of these if you find the prices are too low and you have enough capital to do that. It all depends on the numbers really. And again, the same with Greater Flask of the Currents. But for the moment, I'm just going to pop these on as they are. This Stamina Flask is just an odd extra one from the miscellaneous potions, so I'm just popping that on at a cheap price if I can. So let's post all of those on. So there we go, that's how I'm dealing with alchemy in BFA. Now I haven't really done any of the old world alchemy on this character, I'm just sticking with the top end of the BFA. I missed all the early stuff during the development of BFA, so I'm really just concentrating on the end at this stage. So that should wrap up my alchemy series. I'll probably do another deep dive video once I've done all the other expansions as well. But for now, this getting started in BFA alchemy is pretty much complete. I'm happy with where it's at. I'm starting to make some reasonable gold back now. I obviously invested a lot of gold in getting this started, getting my stock levels up and leveling everything. But now it's in a reasonable position, I can see my gold numbers are increasing, which is really good to see. And as I said before, I'll put the paste bin to my operations in the description below. So I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to hearing your tales of the gold you've made with alchemy. So until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.